Here we go, we're live. I meant to start earlier, but I had to do a massive update on my stream PC because stuff wasn't working properly and it took forever. We're here now. What's up, Vincent? Good to see you again. Doing good, Casper. How are you, man? Sorry, I did actually plan to start at 12:15 my time, but yeah, I had something was wrong. I had a huge like Windows update and like stuff wasn't working, like Spotify wouldn't work, and I was like, you know what, I better just take care of it. But it took way longer for that to complete than I thought it would. But it's okay, because we're here now. And everything's working. We have music again. It's great. It's great. Ooh, 7400F or 8400F? I don't know the price difference. I think the 7400F is cheaper, and I would guess that they're basically the same performance. So I would go 74, whichever one's cheaper. Dirty Bird, what's up, dude? Good to see you. Doing good. Blue light glasses are amazing. Hey, you're welcome. I'm glad you're enjoying them. What's everybody up to? How we doing? Hopefully some of y'all have today off. I know I have today off because it's Good Friday, Friday before Easter. So I was able to get today off. And since I have some stuff going on tonight, we decided we're going to build during the day today, which is very interesting, very different. What are you building today that makes me hate my 3080? So here's what we got today. First, since you asked, RTX 5070 Ti, great GPU. We've got a Ryzen 9 9900X, got 3 terabytes of storage, 48 gigs of RAM, got the same MSI Mag motherboard, 850 watt power supply on this one, and then we've got some more of these Corsair fans, and then the same Teamgroup AIO. And then we're building in the same case as Wednesday. So we've got the Corsair 3500X, some extra Corsair fans, and then all this stuff's gonna go in it. It's gonna look pretty much identical to Wednesday's build, with the exception of this MSI Ventus 3X. So instead of like an all black GPU, this one's got some kind of silvery aluminum looking color to it. But other than that, it's pretty much the same build, like slightly different power supply and different GPU, and we've got a little bit more storage. We've got 3 terabytes, and then we've got 48 gigs of RAM versus 32. 32 these days isn't quite enough if you want to game and stream at the same time. A lot of games these days are using upwards of like 17 to 20 gigs of RAM. So if you're running like OBS, and if you're doing like, you know, a replay buffer, you know, recording, if you got other things running in the background like Spotify and all that stuff is going to be using up a little bit more of your RAM. So having 48 versus 32 is just a nice little extra. And the 48 gig kits are super efficient and really stable. And they operate at they tend to operate at even like lower voltages. So they just work really well. And you can get a 48 gig kit for like $160 versus like an equivalent 64 gig kit is over 200. So it's a nice kind of in between, gets you plenty of RAM for, you know, what we're going to be using it for, and then save a little bit of money. Do I think the 5060 will be a good budget GPU? Yeah, I haven't seen any reviews yet on the 5060, like the non-TI version. I know the 5060 Ti 16 gig is going to be a great GPU for the price point. But I haven't seen anything yet on the 5060. I'm interested to see what that's going to be like. 2025 premium build has the 48. Yeah, exactly. Had you salivating for months? Dude, it's a great build. I actually need to upgrade a couple of my systems now on the pre-built website because the 4060 Ti, I'm going to mute this thing. The 4060 Ti, I think we'll get rid of that one on there, and we'll put the 5060 Ti 16 gig on there, and then maybe Maybe we'll even upgrade the gamer PC to be on AM5. Yeah, I think it could be some upgrades we need to make. All right, so talked for a second about the build, 9900X, 5070 Ti, 48 gigs of RAM, bunch of storage. Should we get to it? Let's get to building. How we doing on the TikTok stream, folks? Defeater, Arfaro, Brant, Gaming something. I don't know why it cuts off all the names for me. It's really annoying. Clem, Slider, what's up? How we doing? Don Dingler. I wish TikTok didn't cut off the names. I don't know why it does that. How much is this build? I believe it was about $2,700. That's with build fees, shipping, all that good stuff included. Yeah, it's definitely an expensive build. Like it's not a very budget build, but it's pretty reasonable for something that you're gonna be able to run for 3-5 years without any problems. What up, Snowball? Bye. But you just got here, you can't leave. All right. There we go. Is that camera crooked? Kind of looks like it is. Yeah. It's a little better. All right. Let's get our CPU in here. By you. What? What are we talking about here? $9,900X. There it is. Installed that easily. All right, let's get our 1 terabyte SSD in here. How much is the building fee on this one? So in general, my build fee is just a percentage of the component costs. So rather than like marking up components and then doing like a cheap build fee to try and be like, oh, look, I only charge this much for a build. Like I've seen some companies do that. I actually made a video about it recently. I charge a 20% fee for the build based on the part cost. And then obviously if you know any of my partnered content creators, you can get 5% off of the total build cost. Okay, 1 terabyte installed. Let's get our 2 terabyte SSD in here. Say that again. What do you want me to say again? My build fee, Dirty Bird? Do you buy the parts and we send you the money? Yes. So the way it works is either you just like buy a pre-built on my website, or like you fill out the custom build form. I'll give you a quote for the cost of the build with all the parts that are going to be in it. You can make changes, whatever, like decide, if you want something different. And then once we agree on it, I'll send you an invoice. You pay the invoice. I buy all the parts. I ship them to me. And then I build the PC and ship it to you. So yeah, I do all the sourcing, everything. And it's cheaper that way because I don't have to pay sales taxes on components, and you wouldn't have to like pay to ship them to me. So it's just, it works a lot better that way. Yeah, so build fee. I charge 20% of the component costs is my build fee. So I don't mark up any components or anything like that. I just say, here's the cost of the components. Here's my build fee, card fee, shipping cost. Here's the total cost. I usually just give a total price. If people ask for like a breakdown, I'll send it to them. Most people don't care about the breakdown. They just want to know the total price, but I'm more than happy to give that to people if they ask for it. But then also you can get 5% off of the total build cost if you know one of my partner's creator codes. Can you send me 100 pills of this stuff? What are you talking about, bro? I don't have pills and I don't send them to anyone. I have no idea who you are. So that's a hot take there, bro. When the 5060 comes out, I might try to email you or through your website for a build. Do it, dude. The 5060 is out. Or at least the 5060 Ti, both of those versions came out. Maybe they are staggering the actual 5060 a little bit. I've been pretty busy the last few days, so I haven't had a chance to look into it. I know all the 5060 Ti's are out, both 8 gig and 16 gig versions. Well, don't be a weirdo in my chat, Jones. Don't be a goofball. Normal 5060's out in May? Okay, there we go. I've been so busy I haven't been able to stay on top of all that stuff right now. Am I doing a 5060 build? I mean, if someone orders one, sure. This is a 5070 Ti. That's going in this one. Type in exclamation point specs. There you go. Hopefully Botrix will actually put it there. Come on, Botrix. We know you're working. There we go. Okay, I'm actually going to take that. I'm going to copy it into the other chats too, just so everyone has it. Sometimes Botrix just doesn't work. Let's see if it'll let me post all of that in the TikTok chat. I don't think I can pin stuff in the TikTok chat. But that's okay. Okay, well, let's keep going here. How many cores is that CPU? It's got 12 cores and it does have integrated graphics. The only CPUs that don't have integrated graphics in the like newer lineups are, they have like an F on them. So it'd be like a 9900F. I don't even think they make that model though. If they do, it's super obscure. I've never seen anyone use it. What up, Zach? So this has 12 cores, 24 threads. None of that Intel E-core nonsense. They're all full bore performance cores. All right, here we go. Cool, that's all in there. Let's get our case up here. this guy out of the back. Oh. Really need to get some more trash can liners from my office. Keep forgetting to. Trash can keeps getting all dirty, all dusty. How long have I been building PCs? 4 years. 4 whole years. This is build number 256. It's crazy. Oops. Go. Those all look lined up. Put this back on. You didn't see that. You didn't see that. Come on. There we go. No harm, no foul. Not a great moment for me to be like, I've built so many PCs, and then I just like knock off a panel. I build super carefully, as you can tell. Oh boy. Oh boy. So if you guys were here on Wednesday, you're gonna recognize this build because it's pretty much the same. Just a different GPU and different power supply. Okay, I need these guys for the GPU support. I need these guys here for the motherboard right now. The rest of the stuff I don't need. One new message. Well, TikTok, why aren't you scrolling down for me? Yo, thank you for all those likes. I see those coming in. Bro. The TikTok dashboard thing is a menace. It said one new comment, but there was no new comment. What's the most expensive PC I've ever built? It was around $11,000 after shipping and everything. Because it was so big and heavy, I had to like we literally had to like put it in a crate and have a truck show up and take it all the way to the customer. Like it wasn't UPS, it was literally like I had to hire like a freight pickup. It was crazy. I'll add a new comment. When it comes down to content creation, what do you suggest for more USB ports? Thunderbolt? If you need more USB ports, my first option would be if you have a slot, like an extra slot, I would put in a PCIe card. If that's not an option, then yeah, I would say utilize USB-C ports to get more USB. The problem is like depending on like the chipset and everything, and what you're putting into it, you can overload your USB, like the serial bus, which I have had happen on my stream PC before. So if you're not careful, depending on how much stuff you're putting in it, you could overload your USB bus and cause issues like flickering or stuff just not connecting. Which is why I would say doing the PCIe slot as the first option, because then you're not utilizing the USB bus, you're utilizing PCI lanes. What's the budget on this build? It was around 2,700 bucks. I'm doing good though, Muma. How are you? It's good to see you. This is the kind of PC I'd like to build in the future. Well, we've got the full spec list in the details if you ever want to build this exact system. Some of them have affiliate links with them. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to get the new Newegg affiliate generator thing to work. Like I created an account, but then it doesn't recognize that I have an account, but then it's like, you already have an account with this email. So that's fun. I probably just need to use a different email and just say screw it. But I haven't been able to get that fixed. But I have all the Amazon affiliate links in there. All right, the 5070 Ti, this one was around $800 something. That's what I paid for it. Got a decent deal on it. Been a rough spring. I'm getting back to myself finally. Hey, I'm glad to hear that. I mean, I'm not glad to hear that you had a rough spring, but I'm glad to hear your comeback. Early bird today. What's up? How we doing, Mean Dean? Yeah, I didn't have to work today, but I've got stuff going on tonight, so I wanted to get on this right away. All right, motherboard is installed. Let's switch you guys over to these cameras. Lift this baby up. How do you guys feel? So on the horizontal streams, would you guys like to see something different for this view? Like I know the rear camera is better because you can see, you know, what I'm seeing, see more of what I'm doing. Do you guys want that like top thing up here to be bigger or something, or how? Yeah, I just don't know how you guys would like to view this. The Stream Deck is connected to my Stream PC, so I have things on here for changing scenes in OBS. I can do like a capture of my replay buffer. I could start recording. I can also take like a screenshot with that. So that's what I have it set up for. There's a lot of stuff you can do with a Stream Deck, but I have it set up pretty basic stuff. Camera needs to be a little lower for the back shot view. I mean, wait, what? Okay. It's mounted on the wall, so if I have to move it, I would be putting some holes in the wall. Some more holes in the wall. By stuff to do tonight, I hope we all know you mean for dance. No, I've got, we've got church tonight, and I work in the AV booth, so doing all of like this audio and visual stuff for the service, so I have to be there at like 5 to help set up and everything. Because it's Good Friday, you guys. It's Good Friday, right before Easter. Thanks for advice on when updating the graphics driver. When doing so, do it in safe mode, no more black screen from the Nvidia updates. Exactly. I've been doing that on every single 50 series when I build these, and I've yet to have an issue. I don't know if that's the reason why, but I just, you know, to be extra careful. You little do-gooder, you. I know, right? Everybody look at me. I'm just kidding. I mean, you guys are looking at me because I'm on camera, but the OnlyFans angle, yeah, should I just point it down so you guys are just looking at my butt the whole time? I did ask. I was asking seriously, though. Okay, well, let's fix these over here. Because I hate how they route these cables. Like, they do a crappy job of that. Okay, plug these guys back in, like so. Okay. All right, let's get all these cables plugged in. Got our HD audio here. It's gonna go in this bottom left corner. See, doesn't it look so much better having all that stuff not sitting there? Work on the PC. What up? You got to tell me how I should pronounce your name, because I don't know how to pronounce that. Truly drops? I don't know. How do I get your Discord server? Just type in oh, Seb's got it. Exclamation with Discord. There's my server right there. What up, Seb? It's good to see you, dude. Truly drops. Okay, cool. Thank you. Gamble all. I don't know if I have gambling set up on here. I do have a top-down view. Look, top-down. See? Oh, sorry, that's the wrong stream. Here, look. I do a top-down view to start, but I figured front back, right, for this part, right where the thing's up. I figured that would be more helpful. Can I ask something? Is it possible to do NAS server in the desktop with the same job of NAS server and more fast? You can totally run a NAS server with a desktop. I don't know that you want it to be the same computer as like what you're using, but I'm not a networking guy, so I don't know that super well. Best PC for $1,300. Right now, I would say you could get like a Ryzen 5 7500F. You could probably get up to like a 5060 Ti in that price range, maybe the 8 gig. And then, you know, 32 gigs of DDR5, you know, ATX motherboard, small case, all that good stuff. How we doing, Vortex? Good to see you. But if you want to like, if you want like an actual like build list, shoot me a message in the server, the Discord server, and I can get you something. Okay. Look at my USB 3 in here. I think last time we ended up putting it on the bottom, so let's do that again. Hopefully I don't have to take it out again. I probably will, but that's okay. All right, USB-C. These guys are in the way. Taking this guy out. So we're gonna replace these with cable ties. Okay, USB-C. Where is that at? Right there? Okay. They've all been doing thick side up now. Yep, okay. Still rocking a 1050 Ti? Are you still able to play all your games? What about a 4070? If you find a used 4070, that'd be great. The 5060 Ti, if you can find them for the same price, the 5060 Ti has more VRAM. So I don't know what you can find a used 4070 for right now, but if you can find a 5060 Ti 16 gig for about the same price, I would probably choose that over the 4070. 126 gigs of RAM. That is way more than you probably ever need. All right, let's get our RGB and stuff in here. This is for these fans that come pre-installed. Okay, that's all connected. I'm gonna get the bottom fan in here. So let's do that real quick. What is the best part PC for video editing in 2025? Without selling any body part for it. If you want to go cheap with video editing, that might be one of the few use cases where I would say go with an Intel CPU, because you could get like an i5, you know, 13600K and get, you know, lots of cores out of it. That would probably be my suggestion, to do it for a reasonable price. And then, you know, whatever GPU you can afford in your budget. Kayla, are you just like describing, stop. Kayla, are you just describing your build, or what's going on here? Is there a question along with these comments? What up, Husk? How we doing? The B570. Oh, the B570 would be a good one for best $13 PC, the one I'm selling right now with a B570. Oh, there you go. He's clearly not biased, you guys. He's not biased at all. All right. So we're gonna learn our lesson from last time. We're gonna plug these in before I put this fan in. Crazy, my memory speed was set at 4800, which my CPU says it can handle 5200. Went to the expo file. Yeah, no, there's usually no, I don't know what that is with those like specs on the motherboard and CPU, but like you can run pretty much every expo, like whatever your RAM is set to, and you'll be fine. I don't know why they say, oh, it can only handle 5200 when we all know it can handle more. Stay. But yeah, going up to the 6000 is gonna make a huge difference. And like 6000 and tight timings, like yeah, it's gonna be so much better than 5200 or 4800 that it defaults to. Can you add me back on Discord? I mean, you can jump in my Discord server and we can talk there. And you can message me without like adding me or anything. Okay, got some bolts there. All right. Let's get these guys through the gap back here. Come on. Trying to fish that through there. Okay, cool. Fine, I'll use my pliers to grab you. And where is that RGB connector at? Right there. There we go. Okay, got all that pulled through. We can tighten that up in a minute. Or we'll just do it right now. Why do you wear gloves while building PC? For one thing, it just kind of keeps everything nice and clean. Like, you don't get oils from your fingers or anything on all the components. And then two, like it helps with static. So like even if I'm building up static on my body, the static doesn't make it through my gloves. So it's a pretty low chance of ever like shocking anything. Or at least shocking anything to the point where it damages. But it just never hurts to be a little extra careful. But it's mostly about cleanliness. I'm not really concerned with shock. Wait, I don't think that's the right hole. Oh, it is, okay. $1,300 bill with a B57 be pretty one-sided. Why do you say that? What do you mean by one-sided? Sorry, it was a glitch. What CPU would you pair with a 5070 for a CPU-bound case like, say, CS2? I mean, honestly, you could go with like a 9600X or a 9700X. That would be a great option. It definitely depends on how much you want to spend. Gotta be really, really careful with these fans to not over tighten them. Okay, got that in there. And then we're gonna connect this into these guys. Okay, so these are gonna be controlled by the same plug that's controlling all of these fans. So all four of these fans are running together as one. Okay. And we'll get our rear fan installed, and then we can work on some cable management over there. Yo, Gaming, thank you so much for the likes on the stream. Could you tell me what I should do, like if I should flip a PC, I have my house up to my dream one? I can try. I can try and give you some advice. Do you think if I do 2 PCs, one would run the 3D model work card, the other one run the Windows? No, it doesn't work like that. You're gonna have to have Windows on both systems. Seen on CyberPower, they have a 9700F with a 5070. Yeah, it just means they're trying to cheap out. Like if you're gonna go with the 5070 board, if you're gonna go with a 5070 GPU, like give them a good CPU to run with it. I don't understand why some of these companies cheap out on stuff like that. I don't trust anything from CyberPower. I've seen some of the builds they do even with their high-end stuff, and they're like always using cheap, crappy power supplies and motherboards and RAM, SSDs, everything. Can't stand it. Seen it too many times. I think the 9700F is probably one of those ones that's like only for OEMs. Like they don't really sell them to consumers directly. It's technically the same thing with like the 7500F and 7400F, but you can buy those on like AliExpress. All right, there we go. Run these through the back. Would I say scan is better? I don't know. All those big companies tend to cheap out on stuff. I don't know that I would recommend any of them. Obviously, I'm biased because I have my own PC company, but I've seen some of the crap they put together. And it's just like, I don't know how they can feel good about selling people computers with some of those components. What do I do with my little clip thing? Oh, there it is. It's hiding. There's only a couple of PC companies out there that I would trust people to go to, like if I ever stop building computers, and none of them are these giant brands like Zydax or what's it called? CyberPower or anything like that. Okay, get our fan in here. Come on, go. All right, that's all plugged in. Let's do a little cable management over here. Yeah, I'll do it on Discord. I mean, you can ask questions here too if you want, but Discord might be the best place, just so I have time to like really look at your question and respond to it intelligently. $1,300K, does the instability issue resolved? Yeah, they've fixed the It wasn't instability, it was a voltage issue. They have updated their microcode to fix that in the newer BIOSes since like August of last year. Might be looking at doing a PC upgrade. Would ask you, but I'm UK and shipping would be expensive. Yeah, that's tough. I don't know any builders in the UK. Like, I'm sure there are some good ones out there. I just don't know any, you know. All right, let's get some of our power cables out here. What up, Moises? I recognize your name. Did you any funny mistake when they had a PC build before? I had one not too long ago that just like the first time I tried to power on, it didn't turn on. That was funny. I can't remember what it was that I messed up. Power supply out. Definitely made some mistakes early on of like, just like not everything fit the way I was hoping it would. I know how to build myself, but I have 2 young kids, which are little monsters. You know, just get them a babysitter for the weekend and then take your time and build it. Lock yourself in a room. Yeah, it definitely is easier getting a pre-built. No question about that. 2 drops. It would certainly get your foot in the door for PC gaming, but COD really likes AMD GPUs when you're looking at bang for the buck on a budget. True. 14700 with a 4060 for 1200. Is that a good for a starter build? Yeah, it's probably not bad. Personally, I would go with like I mean, I guess if that's a pre-built, you don't really have options, but like I would personally go with like a 14600K over the 14700. Like those extra cores aren't going to do you anything. CPU, we don't need these. Like that single core performance is way more important than just having more cores for gaming. What advice do you give to users worried about GPU lane shearing? I mean, spec out your PC properly and put your components like the SSDs and stuff where they should be, and then you don't have to worry about it. Like look at your motherboard specs and see, you know, because like a lot of times, you know, if you, like on this board, or a lot of the X870E boards, if you put an SSD in slots 2 or 3, you then limit your GPU to by 8 mode instead of by 16. So as long as you avoid some of those pitfalls, you're usually fine. You think it would run COD at least 120 FPS? At 1080p, I think it would. I don't think it wouldn't on 1440. You should make a pre-built for $1,300 USD. Yeah, I do kind of have a decent gap in terms of like from the start or from the gamer PC to the streamer PC. I kind of would like to move this streamer PC into a little bit lower budget if I could. It's just hard. Components are expensive these days. And with how hard it is to get a lot of GPUs, it just makes it really difficult, you know? Yo, gaming with all those likes, thank you. Oh my gosh, stop pushing on those buttons. With COD, 2 terabytes goes quick, it does. Yeah, 2 terabytes is enough though. You can always add another SSD in if you need to later, but like 2 terabytes is typically enough for most people. Why is your chipset so hot? Not very good cooling in your case, maybe? If you don't have good airflow. Because I mean, your chipset typically is going to be either like hidden behind a heatsink like this, or it might even be out in the open. But if you don't have good airflow in your case, you're not going to get cool air blowing over the top of it to keep it cool. Oops, flip that backwards. Appreciate you pricing your pre-builds right, by the way. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's hard. It's just like, and because I mostly sell custom builds, it's hard to like have a bunch of pre-built options because people don't utilize them that much. Like they tend to come to me for custom stuff. So it's like, yeah, having like a pre-built for every sort of budget would be nice, but most of the time people are like, hey, I like this build, but like I want to do something different. I'm like, okay. That happens like a lot. Like people are like, hey, I like the signature PC, but can I do this instead? I'm like, yeah, sure. I don't have a case yet, so that's probably why. Oh, yeah. You don't have any airflow for it. That is probably why. You could like connect a case, connect a case fan and just like prop it up so that it blows over the top of your VRMs and your RAM and stuff. It's not a bad idea to do. What are your thoughts on changing the configuration files in Call of Duty for render work count? I have seen people do that. I know we did that with like the old Call of Duty. Like I did that on my system in the old Call of Duty. I don't know what it gains you anymore, to be honest. We haven't done that in the last few years. So yeah, I'm not sure. I think the part that could help is like if you can set it up so like, you know, if you have a bigger CPU with a lot of cores, if you can set it up to where it only ever runs off of like one CDD, that would probably be more beneficial. So like you limit it to, you know, if you have like a 9900X, like you could set it to like CDD 0 and only run on 6 cores, and then like you can help benefit yourself that way so that it's not switching between the two areas of the CPU. I feel like the benefits are probably pretty marginal. But you know, could be worth doing if you want to eke out a little more performance. Making sure none of these cables are getting pinched by this. Okay, here we go. That's looking pretty good. I think now we can do a little bit of this. Okay, looks pretty good. Come on. Ooh, my stomach is growling. That's what I get for only eating some yogurt today. Okay, it's looking pretty good so far. Let's get our power cables into the power supply and then we can install that. Just got done building my first PC ever, was so nervous. How'd it go though? Is it working and everything? I'm awesome. Oh, thank you, Vortex. Appreciate you. Wish I had a spare fan. All my fans are coming pre-installed in the case. Oh, yeah. What up, Lemons? How we doing? Hey, MJ, good to see you. What do you think would be good for around $1,500 for COD and other FPS games? At $1,500, you could probably get like, yeah, I like what Mean Dean put in there. 4070, 7800 XT, if you can find one of those. Maybe even, like if you're building it yourself, you might be able to get like a 5070 or a 9070, and then like a 9700X. Okay, that's all plugged in. I have enough CPU cable length to do this? Maybe not. Oh my gosh, you guys, my stomach is making so much noise right now. Hopefully you guys can't hear my stomach growling in the microphone, but like, I feel like it's loud enough that you can. Can you guys hear my stomach growling in the microphone? Because like it's not that far. What up, Morgan? What's happening? What up, Arabian Night? Exclamation point specs. Yes, that should show it. It's also in the pinned comment, but we've got a 9900X with 48 gigs of RAM and a 5070 Ti. What do I do with those power supply bolts? There they are. Nah, you're fine? All right, cool. I am hungry though, as it turns out. I skipped lunch. And breakfast wasn't much. Should take a break and get some food? Nah, we're powering through. We're powering through. I've got water, so I'll be okay. I don't have any food at the office either, so I would have to like go all the way home. Which is way too much work. Why is there a GPU shortage? That's a great question. On Nvidia's part, they stopped making the 40 series months ahead of the 50 series. So all of the back stock was gone when the 50 series came out. And that in turn kind of led to a shortage of AMD GPUs too. So people were buying them up and scalping them. And then I think the other part of it is like Nvidia does not, you know, their bread is not buttered by consumer gaming cards. All of their money is made from enterprise stuff, so they don't care enough to change it, you know? What do you prefer and why, water cooled or air cooled? I prefer water cooling. It tends to be a little bit quieter, tends to be a little more consistent. It is a little bit more expensive, so if you're going with like a really budget build, I would say go air cooled. But with how much power modern CPUs pull, I think water cooling just makes more sense most of the time. Unless you're going with like a budget system. No breaks, no food. I don't have time. I mean, I do have time, but it would take longer than what I would be willing to like just leave the stream open for, you know? Ah. After stream, could you message me on Discord? I don't know if I'll have time to like right after stream, but I can try. Oh, I'm talking about like AIO, like actual custom water cooling. In terms of performance, is typically not worth it. It's more for show, or if you're like doing crazy overclocking. Got your PC 2 months ago. Let's go. Someone DoorDashed this man a pizza. Ooh, that sounds good. I actually DoorDashed myself Red Robin last night. I didn't feel like making food. Currently rocking an 8th gen i7 and a 1060. Woo! It's getting old. Hopefully it still plays what you want to play. I think with Thermalright making $50 AIO, even budget builds can afford to be water cooled. I would say for the most part, yes. Like unless it's really cheap, you can pretty much just get an AIO from Thermalright and be good to go. I don't want those ones. I want these ones. I need 7600X on integrated graphics. RIP. Sag. Runs Minecraft. Hey, there you go. You get extra fries though. They let you for free get an extra order of fries. So I did order that because my wife is always like, my wife is always upset if I don't order extra fries for her. She could care less about getting a burger from there, but she's always happy with the fries there. Rocking 5700X and a 3070. That's a great build, dude. My streaming PC still has a 3070. It's a Founders Edition 3070. I've told people before, like until that thing dies or like just really can't handle what I'm doing, I have no intention of getting rid of my 3070. I love it. Where's the fam last night that you had to DoorDash? My wife was helping out. There's this thing called, or a charity called Love Inc. And they do like a lot of stuff for people in the community, like teaching them how to, teaching them life skills, teaching them how to budget, helping them like financially to get through, issues, whether it's self-inflicted or not. And she is helping out every other week there at night to like watch kids while the parents are going through those classes and stuff. You didn't get extra for the DoorDash guy. So yeah, we did get extra fries. I don't need the extra fries though. I don't need to be eating that much. I really want to do a build with an FE card. I love the gray and black. I think they look so good. I was able to get one more Founders Edition 5080 the other day, so we'll be doing another Founders Edition build at some point. You have an Xbox Series X though, so it's all good. Oh, there you go. Series X is the next, like the newer gen, right? I can't keep up with Xbox. Their naming scheme just doesn't make sense anymore. I was able to sell my laptop for $880. Hey, there you go. Tie this one down yet? I did. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So they were both at that while I was like working and then playing some games, and then I just picked up Avery when it was time for her to go to bed. Ooh, DDR3 RAM, that's getting up there. My parents got it for me, and my sister for Christmas just told them to buy the best one. Nice. This case, it's a Corsair 3500X. It's the ARGB version, so it comes with these 3 fans that are RGB, controllable RGB. Keeps opening as a vertical video instead of a short. Weird. Yeah, I don't know how that works, to be honest. I know I get put into the shorts feed, so like that's how a lot of people find me on the vertical live stream, but I don't know exactly how that works. Because it is a live video, so I guess it makes sense that once you open it, it moves you to like the standard live. The case is $95 US right now. So not bad. And you can get more of those Corsair fans easily. A pack of 3 is like $55 right now. Which is not the cheapest fans, but like the nice part about it is all of those fans are, they just use standard motherboard RGB. You don't have to use, you have to use the stupid Corsair IQ software that I loathe. I'm just gonna ignore you guys here for just a minute while I get all these cables through and stuff. Bring this down just a little bit. Can I do a new build but keep the 5700X and 3070? I mean, like if you just want to like swap your case or something, you could. But if you want to get on like more, if you want to get more stuff out of your system and be able to upgrade it in the future, I would say you probably should go to AM5 and get DDR5 RAM and all that stuff. I tagged you in the Discord for a $1,300 build. All right, cool. Found you through the shorts feed. Yeah, exactly. Like, it shows me in the shorts feed, but then I think once you actually like open up the stream, rather than like when you're just scrolling through, it actually opens it in like in the live format, not just a short, which makes sense. Can I sell my laptop then for maybe $100? Maybe, probably. You know, as long as it works well, I would assume you could sell it for that, no problem. What up, Dirty Bird? Problem with my current setup, if I upgrade, it has to be the whole setup. Yeah. That's the problem with going with AM4 systems like in the last year or so. Like there's just no more upgrade path for them. Like the best you're gonna get is like a 5700X 3D, which is a good CPU, but you're stuck on DDR4 and stuff. And you're typically also stuck on Gen 4 speeds for your motherboard, which means if you got a newer GPU, you're not gonna get the most out of it because all the new GPUs run on Gen 5. All right, there we go. Got all that installed. Let's pull these guys to the back, and I need a cable for this. Okay, CPU fan cable. Let's get all of our CPU fans connected. Okay, we'll get all of our RGB connected in. So glad I found you the best. Oh, thank you. Glad you guys found me too. Okay. Got all that. This guy's gonna run right over here. Just like that. And now we can do a little cable management for all this stuff. Okay. I find cable management to be a lot easier if you do it this way, where just kind of as you go along, cable manage what you got, and then over time you just kind of keep adding all the new wires and stuff. Makes it a lot more manageable, gives you kind of a better plan. Okay, go in, back up with that. Okay, I'm just gonna run these all up for now until I get the CPU cooler block in. And then we'll tighten this part up, but this has to connect to the CPU cooler block, so. All right. Speaking of the CPU cooler block, we'll get that in here. Just lost a stack of wood in Minecraft. Oh no. How do you lose a stack of stuff? What up, Fadeaway? How we doing? Waiting for my parts to come in. 7800X3D and a 970XT. That's a great build. Yeah, I mean, from what I've seen, that card at 1440p is as good as this card, if not a little bit better. So you're not gonna have any complaints playing anything at 1440p with that card. Take this off now. Almost forgot to take this off last time. Okay. Those are all nice and tight. Get our pump fan up here. Okay, get that. I gotta get this guy in there. Run that right out to the same spot, if I can. Come on, there we go. Sometimes you don't want to look; you just got to do it with your fingers. Okay. Run one zip tie here to just keep that pump fan cable tight. Okay. And I've got this guy here. Now we can pull this out, run it back down on itself here. Okay, and that last little cord, we should be able to just slide it under here, like so. Maybe even into the next one. Boom. There we go. Nice and clean, huh? All we have left to do now is put our GPU in. It's looking pretty clean though. I might tighten up a couple things back here like this. But other than that, we're looking pretty good. All right, let's get our GPU support in here. Yep, this is for a customer, Duck. Is that an ITX case under your desk? No, that is a XL. That's a Lee & Lee 011 Dynamic XL. That thing is chonky and huge. Again, this last time too. Drop that bolt. Went all the way out there. There we go. Okay, let's try and do it this way. With my dominant hand. I think we have a little bit better visual here too. Okay, got that one started. What's in it? It's got a 9900X. Oh, in my system or this system? Haven't used my PC in over 2 months. Been gaming on the PS5. Really? Why is that? Okay, this thing is too big. I need my baby one. My little iFixit driver. There we go. It's nice and tight. Okay. Should have no problem getting the GPU on top of there. We fit the 5080 underneath or on top of that, so I think we'll be fine with the 5070 Ti here. Okay. Let's get our GPU in. Just gonna figure out how many slots this is. Looks like it's just 2. So let's get 2 of these guys out of here. In my system, right now I have a 9600X and a 4070 Ti Super. It's all water cooled, custom hardline water cooled. I also have the Asus ROG Strix Crosshair Extreme motherboard, the X670E one. It was like the most expensive, highest end board you could get at the time that I built my system. A 3200G? No, don't do it. If you want to go super budget, get a Ryzen 5 5500. Don't get a 3200G. You can get a 5500 for like 80 bucks. It's a Teamgroup AIO. What up, Simba? How we doing? What about the 3600? I mean, I don't know what you can get those for, but I would say if you're going for super budget, get a 5500. Maybe get it off AliExpress. You can probably get it for even cheaper than $80. But I would not go, like, I don't see a good reason to go with an older generation than the 5000 series. Gosh, this plastic is so thin. Just tears itself apart when you try and pull it off. Okay, there we go. Plastic's all gone. I have a 4060 Ti 8 gig. Should I upgrade to a 5060 or 5070? I mean, if you want an upgrade, you want a 5070. A 5060 is not going to be an upgrade from the 4060 Ti. I think they're bringing out multi-frame generation for more than just the 50 series, if I remember right. But still, either way, like you still have regular DLSS, so I would not jump to a 5060 non-Ti. And if you do get a 5060, make sure you get the 16 gigabyte version. Okay, got that in there. Uh, 5070 Ti GPU, terrible value. It depends on how much you pay for it. This was only like a little over 800 bucks. So it's significantly cheaper than the 5080. And they wanted Nvidia, not AMD. The 9070 XT, if you can get it for cheaper sometimes, is a better price to performance. But, you know, customer gets what they want, you know? I mean, pretty much no GPUs are good value right now. Like maybe a ARC B580 or something, but everything is just so overpriced right now. There we go. Clean those cables up a little bit. All right. Okay. That guy. Let's get this guy in there. Okay, I want to do one more zip tie on this thing here, just to clean it up a little bit. Just kind of clean that up. And there we are. It's pretty clean looking cable management. I know some of these are kind of long, but nice and tight there. Nice and tight there. I'd say that looks pretty good. Hmm? A little bit of dust from the box. And there's the front. What do we think of that? How's that look? Atulit, don't need to spam. I'll read your comment when I get to it. I have a 7600X B650. Yeah, it's a great build. My laptop has a Windows 10 with an Intel Core i5. I mean, it's still a usable laptop. It's not really much to write home about these days, so I don't know what you'll be able to get out of it. It's pretty much obsolete at this point. Why not pay for a little more to get a 5080? It just is budget, man. They don't want to spend that much. They don't want to spend that much. You know. What up, Ezzy? How we doing? Yeah, I don't think a 3200G is a good budget CPU anymore. Need a better GPU. You have the A770. Been saving up for either the 4060 Ti or the B580. Yeah, I would do the B580 over the 4060 Ti for price, especially if you have a good CPU. I'm doing good, Zach. How are you? What GPU would you buy in 2025 for a budget build? I mean, it depends on what your budget is. If you've got like $200, like a RX 6600 or a 6650 maybe. If you got $300 to $400, you know, a 4060 or a 5060 now coming up, or like a B580, depending on what CPU you put in there. I just completed a build with almost the same specs. Hey, let's go. What up, Henry? So you can't get money for it? I mean, you could probably get 100, 150 bucks out of it maybe, but I wouldn't expect much more than that. Like DDR3 has been out of the game for a long time now. 7500 or the 7400. I haven't seen comparisons of the two. I know the 7500F is better built. It's got actual like the 7400F literally just uses like thermal paste for the heat sink. So I would go with the 7500 if you can afford the difference. 7700 and 7900 GRE. That's great. You can still get GPUs at reasonable prices with a shortage. You just have to be way more diligent about finding one. Sarah, I can't give you a PC. Sorry. What happened to Rytech last night? He was fine when I was gaming with him and stuff. Did something happen after I got off? I wasn't able to watch his stream after I got off. I would think so, Vortex. I mean, you could list it at like, you know, 200 bucks and see, you know, see if anyone jumps on it or offers you 100 or 150 bucks. Oh, yeah, I knew that. I knew that. He has been talking about doing that for a while, because his content does well, but streaming doesn't. I don't know. I didn't know if he was like completely stopping streaming. I imagine he'll still throw up a stream from time to time, but he's not done creating content. He's focusing on content. Yeah. I'm not too surprised by that. Like without the amount of time that he has, he really needs to focus on the stuff that actually makes him money. I want to ask if my part is okay. Do I need to change something? 9800X3D, Sapphire 9070 XT, 850 watt, 2 terabytes of storage, 32 gigs. I would get a CL30 6000 kit of RAM. And I don't think that Phantom Evo 120, if it's just like a single fan CPU cooler, I don't think that's going to keep up. Get like a 360 millimeter AIO from Thermalright or something, because you can get those for like 60 bucks. Yeah, it's not gonna work, Sarah. I don't have the money to just be giving away PCs. Yeah, everything. I don't think that CPU cooler is gonna keep up with the 9800X3D. I just don't think so. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised, Zach. If he gets to the point where he can go full time on content, then I would see him probably coming back and doing some streaming too. But until that happens, like until he's making enough money to go full time on content, I don't see him. I don't see him changing anytime soon. Okay, I think we're ready to see this baby power on. So, I want to see your favorite emoji in the chat. Put it in right now. Favorite emojis. We're gonna dim the lights here a little bit, set the mood, and then we're gonna power this baby on. Put your favorite emotes in the chat right now. It's in order. Let's see them. Got one from Lunar there. I've never seen a 4090 with 48 gigs of RAM, so I don't know what model that is, but the standard one is 24, I think. But if you're video editing and if you're gonna buy one or the other, I mean, 4090s are non-existent right now, so 5090. Just bought all the parts of my PC. They're gonna come next week. I mean, you can watch some of my videos and stuff on how I put PCs together. I have an older video on how to build a PC, but I don't know how much it holds up to today. Lil Moo, what up, Molly? Yeah, Thermore has some really cheap ones for that. Can't find your YouTube emojis? Oh, I love the ATM. Bust out that money. What up, Soldier? Love that. All right, y'all, we're ready. We've got a 9900X 5070 Ti, 48 gigs of RAM, 3 terabytes of storage. We've got the MSI Mag X870E, Tomahawk Wi-Fi, Corsair case, Corsair fans. Got that Teamgroup AIO, and an 850 watt power supply from ASRock. First ever power on. Oh, I mean, more RAM. If you're gonna do high-end editing, like, you need lots of RAM. 48 gigs might not even be enough. I don't know anything about MacBooks. Nothing at all. Did I know you're a small content creator? I did not. You should shoot me a message on Discord and send me your some of your stuff, and I can subscribe. Ooh, weird glare on the AIO. Oh, that is weird. Hold on, there you go. It's coming off of my light over here. I've got like a key light essentially over here. Ooh, Isn't that nice? Isn't that real pretty? And look, it posted on the first try. What do you know? I know how to build a computer. Pretty lights. Morning, afternoon, evening. Arrived just in time to see it posted. Yes, sir. How we doing, Phil? It's a very pretty schmexy PC. Kind of digging the solid RGB on the block. I really like the look of these blocks. If you get a 5060 Ti, make sure you get the 16 gig version. Finding a 7700 XT for a reasonable price right now is pretty tough. The price on this was around 2,700 bucks. I do have separate videos on how to install or how to set up like a new PC and how to set up stuff in your BIOS. Obviously, every BIOS looks different depending on the brand of motherboard you have, but it should be good enough to get you there. Looks good. Thank you, Arabian. Very nice, very nice. Well, we did it, folks. We did it in record time. Hour and a half with me talking to you guys and dealing with all your nonsense. Hour and a half. I mean, it helps that I basically built this exact PC yesterday or Wednesday. But I think we did pretty good. Yeah, you can put pretty much any GPU with a 7700 and do okay. Good budget options for AM5. The 7500F, if you're in the US, you have to buy it off of like AliExpress. But that's a really good budget option. It's like 130 bucks. Now get some food. Don't tell me what to do. No, I'm just kidding. I do want to eat soon. But I kind of want to play a few games before I have to go tonight. You know? Get some food. Stop telling me what to do. I might be a little hangry. I don't know. Oops. Knocked my box over. I knocked my box over. Get some food. I will definitely eat today. Ever play Rust? I think I played it like once. It was okay. It wasn't my style of game. I get very, what do you call it? There's not a lot of games that aren't like fast-paced first-person shooters that can really keep my attention for long periods of time. So yeah. Get the dubskis. Should I play some games? I think I should. Just got home from Scotland. Oh, that's cool. How was the trip? Get some food. 7,700 off AliExpress is 170-ish. That's not bad. Because I think they're normally like 250 or something like that. Some nom 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 nom. It was cool. I hope you spent a bunch of time drinking scotch, because that's what I would be doing if I was in Scotland. Not gonna lie. Yeah, that's a great value for a 7,700. 170 bucks. Just put in a build legit. Nice. If you're rich, get the 5090 best GPU in the market. It's true. You mean like one of these? I'm just gonna show off for a minute because I have thousands of dollars of GPUs in here. You mean like one of these? Ew. This could be yours if you buy a PC with it. I can't sell it by itself, but you can buy a PC with one in it. I've got 5090s, I've got 5080s, I got 5070s. That was my last 5070 Ti, so I'll have to find another one of those. I've got B570, B580, 4060 Ti, 9070 XT, RTX 4060. I pretty much got everything except for the 5060s right now. They are sold out everywhere. Sarah will ask for it, I know, right? Yeah, I wouldn't trust them for GPUs, but especially for those CPUs that you can't get here, like the 7500F. And there's a lot of people who have like thousands of CPUs sold. Like those are the people that I would trust to buy from on AliExpress. Scotch and haggis. I've never had haggis, but I've drank a lot of scotch in my life. Ooh, Edinburgh Castle. I love going to like castles and like old stuff. I went to Turkey a couple years ago for work, and I spent a bunch of time walking through all of like the old town in Istanbul, and I spent like 4 hours walking through Topkapi Palace, which is like the palace that like the Ottoman Empire, you know, ran the government out of and stuff. It was really cool. Need a 59 with a 9900, still got a 3080 Ti and a 5900. Yeah, it's time to upgrade, Phil. Would I get a 7900 XTX for 5090? I mean, price-wise, I would go with a 7900 XTX. Does White Castle count? Don't think so. Yeah, back off, Sarah. I'm just kidding. Hopefully Sarah's still in here. I'm doing good, Molly. I'm doing good. Having some fun today. I don't have to work today, which is why we're streaming so early. It's been a good day. We got to go watch my daughter's swim class. That was fun. Bought a fancy I mean, it was just drip coffee because the line at Starbucks was crazy long, but I got some coffee this morning. Happy Easter to you too, Zach. You have a 7900 XTX, my personal build. It does great. I had a 7900 XTX in my system for a long time, and I could average 200 plus FPS at 1440. No issues. The thing is that I'm going to get a huge bottleneck, especially in 1080p lowest settings at esports. I mean, if you're getting really good FPS, even at 1440p, I don't see a reason to play in 1080. I don't know. I'm not a CS guy. I don't know. Found a power supply for $40. Don't buy it. Don't cheap out on a power supply. It can cause issues with all of the rest of your components. Make sure it's 80 plus gold. Make sure it's big enough for all the components you have in it, maybe bigger so that you can upgrade over time. Don't cheap out on a power supply. 8K gaming. I mean, a 5090 is the only chance you have at 8K gaming. Edinburgh itself is a very quiet city. The people are really nice. That's cool. I like the Scottish accent. I like watching, what's her name? Shoot. Jade. The real Slim JD. I just love listening to her accent. I can watch her all day. 12-year-old i7 6700 and 1070 Ti. Woo. Other than I can't change the RGB, had to buy a new AIO because my white Hellhound only has blue LEDs. Oh yeah, that's annoying. I've never used, I don't have any 4K monitors, so I don't really know. But it has a lot of VRAM, so I think it does pretty well at 4K. Can you and me call on Discord after stream? I don't have time to do a phone call. I can try and respond to your message though. Yeah, a little bit hard to understand at times. It takes a while to get used to them. And they just have like a different vocabulary. Like they have a lot of words that just aren't the same as ours. So that can be tough, but enjoyable nonetheless. Yeah, some people just don't sound like they're speaking English. You're like, what are you talking about? Are you sure we're speaking the same language here? As long as you turn off ray tracing, the 7900 XTX performs above the 4080 and under the 4090. There you go. Ordered potato chips and got French fries. Yeah, they call chips French fries. Or sorry, they call French fries chips. Yes. And chips are crisps. Learned all that from Top Gear. All right, y'all. That's it. We're done. We've built it. We've accomplished our mission. And I think it's time to call it a day. All right? All right. We'll see y'all later. Fish and chips, that's right. Hope you guys have a great Easter weekend. I do have another build coming up next week. I'm waiting on parts to get here. It'll probably be like Wednesday or something next week when we get our next build going. But yeah, I hope you guys have a great night. Goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Hey, Vamp, thank you for lurking. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Bye, 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 bye. One at a time. Bye, 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 bye. Bye, bye.